Rather, rather than, and would rather. Hello guys, welcome back to another lesson. It is often difficult for learners of English to know when to use rather, rather than, and would rather in English. Here is a short explanation with examples to help you with the rules and usage when using one of these. So stick around till the end of this lesson and don't forget to hit that like button below. Let's start with rather. Rather is an adverb of degree, or more simply put, a modifier. It can be used with nouns, adjectives, adverbs, and comparatives. And now let's see some examples when using rather to modify nouns, adjectives, adverbs, and comparatives. First with nouns. That's rather a shame. With adjectives. She's wearing a rather nice jacket. With adverbs. He looks rather ill today. With comparatives. That's rather more difficult than I thought. Let's consider the expression or rather. When we want to correct what we have just said or make it more precise, we often use the expression or rather. Here is an example. His son is a doctor, or rather a surgeon. From these examples, we can clearly see that rather is an adverb of degree, or simply put, a modifier used to modify nouns, adjectives, adverbs, and comparatives. Rather can also suggest ideas, such as more than was expected. And here is an example. That girl speaks English rather well. This means she speaks English remarkably well. It can also mean more than is usual. It is rather cold for this time of the year. Rather can also be used to mean more than is wanted. I paid rather more than I had budgeted for our holidays last year. So from these examples, we can clearly see that we can also use rather to suggest ideas such as more than was expected, more than is usual, and more than is wanted. And here comes rather than and would rather. We use rather than and would rather when we are talking about preferences. Preferences are simply what we enjoy or like doing. We can use two structures, rather than and would rather, when we are talking about likes. And here are a few examples to demonstrate this. It would be better to go on holidays in June rather than in August. I would prefer to stay late to finish the job rather than leave early. He decided to take a taxi rather than wait for a bus. We also use rather than with ing forms. When the main clause has a verb in the ing forms, rather than can be followed by ing. I prefer getting up early rather than rushing at the last minute. From these examples, we can clearly see that we use rather than to talk about preferences. Preferences are simply what we enjoy or like doing. And here comes would rather. The expression would rather is followed by the infinitive without to. We also contract I would to I'd. Here are some examples with the expression would rather. Would you rather go back to London or live here? I'd rather live here. So from this example, the speaker is saying, I would prefer to live here. I don't want to go to the swimming pool. I'd rather go to the beach. To say that one person would prefer another person to do something, would rather is generally followed by a past tense. Here is an example. Don't come on Monday. I'd rather you came on Tuesday. From this example, we can clearly see that the expression would rather is used when we want another person to do something. It should be followed by a past tense. To express regret about something that has already happened, would rather is followed by the past perfect. I'd rather you hadn't done that. This simply means I wish you hadn't done that. So from this example, we clearly see that we can use the expression would rather when expressing regret, but you should note that it should be followed by the past perfect. I'd rather you hadn't done that. Simply put, we can clearly see that we use the expression would rather when we are talking about preferences. Preferences are simply what we enjoy or like doing. I hope you found some value and learned something. If you did, I'm happy. Please show me some love by hitting that subscribe button and bell icon so you don't miss out on my weekly interactive English lessons to help boost your fluency, confidence, and speaking skills. Let's keep in touch.